Hello, hello. It has been a while. Not because I wanted it that way. Just sometimes the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, makes you do a little rerouting. And it's okay. And sometimes either the move wasn't right, or it just wasn't time, or you just had to learn to be patient. Or maybe you had to learn that you're actually not in control. My last episode completely deleted after being recorded. And I just took that as a redirection. That's how I'm going to take it. Take it very light. Happy New Year. For those of you that have been here before, welcome back. Happy to be back. Thank you for supporting me. For those of you that haven't been here before and you're completely new, welcome. My name is Melanie Mesa. I'm here just sharing my life experiences, everything, all the knowledge that I've absorbed and continue to absorb, and so much more. Like I said before, my last episode was completely deleted, but I love what was reborn now for this episode. So I'm just going to dive right in. It is the new year, and this is usually when we all reevaluate our lifestyles, our lives, our habits. And it's good that we do. It's even better that we do that actually more often than once in the year. Because this way we kind of get a different perspective on what we are doing. This is usually the time when gyms get super full and when people start eating healthy. And it eventually dies out later in like a month and a half, 2 months, around there. By March, I feel like most people have already fallen off the wagon. Now, the question is why? Now, the question is why? Why do we make these very large lists of things that we want to achieve in the new year and most of us fall off? I've thought about a couple reasons. One of them were setting extremely unrealistic goals. Guilty. Another one would be that our goals don't align with our own values. Now, that's really important. It's a good time to not only reevaluate our lifestyles and see if did we get what we wanted out of this year? And if we did, great. If we didn't, how can we make this coming year better? How can we plan for an end of the year where you look back and you're like, wow, what a year. I did so much. I accomplished so much. I'm not saying not to dream big, because I'm going to do it anyways. Dream big. But let's break down these dreams and let's ask ourselves, do they align? Let's ask ourselves, do these big dreams align with my values or someone else's? It's the perfect time to look back on the year and ask yourself, how much of the year was completely me? In the sense of everything that I did, was it something that I truly desired to do? Is that why I didn't get an end of the year recap that I didn't really care for, that I wasn't really proud about? It's a good time to ask yourself a lot of questions about the way you live your life, about your habits. And well, I'll get to the small steps later. But it's a good time to ask yourself, what it is that you want out of life, and how can you implement these things into your daily life. So one of the reasons why I think that a lot of people fall off the wagon, including myself. I don't accomplish all of my goals. Some things are harder for me than others. But one of the reasons I feel is the overachieving part. The fact that many of us are overachievers. Or maybe we're not overachievers, but we have lists, long, long lists that make it look like we are overachievers. And I think I read this in a book or I heard it somewhere. Many of us make these lists subconsciously knowing that we are not going to step up to the plate. And that's actually why we make it so long. So we make it hard for ourselves. And that way we are telling that voice in our subconscious mind that is telling us that we're not going to do it. Like, yeah, right. We're pretty much telling it it's right by making it hard for ourselves. So how do we make it easy for ourselves? How do we make it easy for ourselves to follow through with these New Year's resolutions? Well, for starters, make small steps. For most people, in the New Year's resolution list is being healthy and working out. And you want to do that 7 days a week, 24 hours. And cool, fun. Maybe you'll get there one day, but you're not going to start there. That is the finish line. That is, by the time that you're there, if you get there, then you have already done all the steps before, which is what? Which is starting maybe 2 times a week. Because if you're someone that doesn't do it normally, or maybe you want to be more mindful, maybe you want to implement the habit of meditating or doing yoga, start small. Start small and remain focused and do whatever it is that you have to do to leave yourself reminders so that you can remember to refocus. This is what vision boards are for. This is what bucket lists are for. You can even make a vision board type of style wallpaper. You can go on Pinterest and you can do that now. From different pieces of art all over Pinterest, you can take that and put it and make a whole vision board for your wallpaper. That way you have something to look at to remind you. But back to values. Make sure that these values align with what you desire. Not what somebody else desires for you, but what is it that you and only you desire for yourself? I want to make this as short and sweet as possible. So that's why I kind of want to just get to the main points. Reevaluating. We're still on time to reevaluate 2024 so that we can create an incredible year in 2025. It doesn't matter how small the step, as long as you are making it. Any step, no matter the size, is a step. And every day that you make a choice, you are deciding what is going to be the ripple effect of tomorrow. Many times, what the things that don't work out for us, it could happen because maybe it's not for us. Maybe it's just not time yet. Maybe you're just not ready. Or maybe it's not happening for you because you're not making it happen. Create a vision board of the things that you have control over and start making those things happen. Before I wrap this up, my last, and I would say the most important, tip, advice, reminder. Focus on your achievements. Don't focus on the fact that you didn't work out 5 days of the week. Focus on the fact that you worked out twice. Same thing goes with any other habit. And think to yourself, really try to make it easy for yourself. What can you take out and what can you replace that habit with? For example, if you get home and the first thing you do is sit down on the couch and scroll through your phone, how can you replace that time with something more productive? How can you take advantage of your time? Time is opportunity. How can you take advantage of the time that you have? You have opportunities all around you, and it really just takes noticing them to see that you are abundant in opportunities. That at every angle you are being given a choice. Every choice matters. Every single one. You may think that, oh, well, I just go out and drink weekends every weekend. It's just weekends though. During the week, I'm 100% like responsible. That accumulates. Know that it all accumulates. Every choice, every thought. If you only focus on how you lacked, how you didn't show up, that accumulates to more thoughts of the same. That's just the way it works. I didn't make the rules. This is just the way it is. So focus on your accomplishments. Refocus as many times as you need and make it easy for yourself. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Big dreams, great. And if you don't have big dreams, you have normal dreams, ask yourself, make a list of your values. Ask yourself, what do I value? What are my values? Maybe you've never asked yourself that. Maybe you've never even thought of that. Do that. What do you value? Is your lifestyle based on your values or someone else's? Who are you living for? At the end of the year, you want to be able to look back and say, wow, I did this and this. What are all the things that you wish, that you want to say, I did all of this. I did this. I did this. I did this. What do you want? Or do you want to stay in the same place for another year? Another 365 days spent doing the same thing. Take advantage of this momentum of the new year to do all this thinking, all this planning, all this reevaluating, reflection, journaling. It is a time for change, but the only way to continue that change and be very consistent and disciplined is to be focused, is to continue to focus and refocus and refocus. I think the biggest problem nowadays with most of society is the fact that I think the majority of us have some level of ADHD. We don't focus. Our attention spans are extremely short. And it only gets worse because things just get easier. So these big, big goals that we make so complicated, let's make them easy for ourselves. And let's remind ourselves and refocus and think positive thoughts and speak to ourselves kindly. And it's okay if you were too tired for 3 times this week. It's okay. It's okay. You did it twice. You did it once. If you're someone that never, if you want to implement a completely new habit into your life, you can literally start from 1. It's okay. You do not have to do 1 hour workouts to feel that you worked out. It could just be 20 minutes. It could just be 10 minutes. It could just be 5. As long as it's something. And jot that down. That way you can look back and be like, I did all of that. Even if you did 5 minutes every day, or 5 minutes for 5 days, that's 25 minutes that you didn't do last week or the week before. That's still something. That's almost half an hour working out. That's still something. You got to see it with a lot of positivity. And remain that energy. Keep that energy. I was in the midst of celebration and all, but the year did begin with a Sagittarius new moon. And that is one lucky, lucky new moon. So I hope we take advantage of the year, all of us together as a collective, to really make it not our best year, because they could always be better, but a great year. And I hope that we do follow through with our plans based on our values, based on our heart's desires, and we make it the most. I pray we make it the most. I pray we learn to accept help when we need it, to take responsibility, to keep our glasses empty. The only way that you leave the door open for knowledge is if your glass is empty. That is such a key ingredient to a fruitful mind. One that remains open to new information. I'm not saying to take everything as is, but remain open to listen, to evaluate, to reflect. Remain open to change and transformation. It's the only way to get a different result, and maybe a more desired result. But with that being said, thank you so much for getting all the way to the end of this. I will be back very soon. I pray that you have an incredible, incredible new year, full of love, of laughter, of lessons, maybe a little pain, but a lot of growth. And may all of your wishes come true. Thank you for stopping by, or thank you for listening to what I have to say, my 2 cents. I'll see you next time. Mwah.